So the next designer that I'd like to highlight is Holly Pokora of Holly Pokora Interiors. And her website is hollypokorainteriordesign.com. And you can also find her on Instagram at Holly Pokora Interior Design. And we started working with Holly probably this year, maybe 2020, 2021. We've done several projects for her. And I find her to be very succinct, very business oriented. She's very specific, which I appreciate. There's no wishy-washing with her. There's no, you know exactly where you stand with her, and you know exactly what she wants. So that's in my book, that's a very respectable characteristic. But Holly started her business actually back in, well, she's got introduced into the world of construction and interior design back in 2001 when she worked on model homes with her brother. So she worked a lot on the engineering and construction. She kind of stood along the trimmers and the electricians and the plumbers and sort of rode the wave of the housing boom back then. And oh, Renee's saying love Holly. Oh, good. I'm glad you like her too. And you know her. Yeah, Holly started her business in 2008, which is like when her interior design firm was officially born. She graduated from Penn State in marketing, which I can also kind of empathize with maybe or associate with, because that's my undergraduate degree as well. And then she went on to do her master's degree in architecture from Jefferson, what is now known as Jefferson University. And if you check out Holly's bio on her website, you'll know that she's a recipient of multiple awards from Home Builders Association here in our area, as well as other organizations for the beautiful work that she has been doing for the last 10 years or so. And the project that I wanted to feature is this. This is actually a basement, and this is a separation between what is kind of like the theater room and the rest of the basement. And instead of just having an opening with nothing there, Holly decided to frame it with beautiful drapery panels. Yeah, they're very pretty. It's an ikat, a kind of pattern. So I thought, Kim, that you would appreciate it. I know you like that. And but the most interesting thing about it is what we've done on the back end of those drapes. So I have a little video for you.
Love when you get so fancy with the technology.
And by we, you mean Stephanie.
Yeah. I don't know what we would do without her.
Ooh, how cool, right? So that's right. So because these are not facing the window, but it's a divider between the two rooms, we had to be careful about how we line it. And you can see how Holly decided to line it with a contrasting fabric. So she picked out, oh my God, picked up a gold color from the front fabric, used it as a solid on the back, and of course the showstopper here is that gorgeous Greek key trim. I mean, it was probably about, good 5 to 6 inches on the leading edge. So this was really pretty. It wasn't not challenging to make, I think, which is another way of saying this was very challenging to make, actually. Anytime you do double-sided drapes, it creates additional layer of complexity. But if on top of that you put a trim, that's yet another layer of complexity. And so Holly doesn't know this, and I'm not sure if she's listening, but if she does, well, she doesn't know this little tidbit that we made the drapes and we're super happy and proud of them. And then the day before the installation, I don't know, something kind of hit me. You know, you have like these spidey senses, right? Like you have this spidey sense. I'm like, something, I just want to make sure that it's
all
right.
Day, every day.
You know, and it's like, something is off. So we decided, it's not often that we hang our projects. We're pretty confident in our measurements and our lengths and on our fabrication standards. And this one, because it had 2 different fabrics, it had to align just right because of this large trim, you know, all the things. I'm like, let's just hang it. So we hung it up, and sure enough, the back fabric, the gold fabric, we tried to make it the same length, but what happens is, because there are different weights and different textures, the gold fabric started stretching more. So so what would have happened is we would have hung it up, our installer would have hung it up. It was a beautiful, that back image. Oops. Um, this one,
Mhm.
beautiful
Yeah.
uh,
I caught
pattern,
yeah,
and the gold would have
been peeking.
shown from the bottom
Yeah.
because it was really stretching and becoming longer. That was one issue that we encountered. And then the second issue that we encountered is that because of this trim, the large, here, I'll put it up again, put on the video again, because of the size of the trim, the way we had to sew it, what started happening is the leading edge started to ride up, started to lift
Oh,
up. Yeah,
okay.
so creating what is known in the industry as smiling draperies, right?
Mm,
So that's when the leading edge is higher than the
yeah,
middle of the drape. So essentially, I mean, not quite pronounced, but it looked a little bit
just like
like
that.
this. I mean, the difference was about an inch, but still, in
It's
our
a
world,
lot.
quarter of an inch is a lot, right? So, so we hung them up, and it's like morning of the day before, we're like, oh my God, so
Yeah.
of course, after having a mild heart attack, we took off the table, and that's the beauty of having the workroom right here, exactly where we work. We have the flexibility and the
Mhm.
ability to do all of that. So we took off the table, whatever Boris was working on, we put these drapes back on, we unhemmed them, rehemmed them, made sure everything was right, hung them up again. It was perfect. And we're like, whew, that was a big, big, big bullet dodge there. So
Yeah.
that's my little challenging story with that project.
Now I have one question for you. Did you guys interline these at all, or is it just the face and the
Was
okay.
just the face, right? I think if these were hung next to a window with some sun exposure, we probably would have, but both fabrics were really of decent weight, so we
Yeah.
didn't want to add yet another
Yeah,
weight there.
another layer.
Yeah, yeah, but
Nicely
good question.
done,
Thank
nicely
you.
done.